Oh dear Lord, that was loud. Okay, well, fingers crossed this works. I don't know if my audio will be on the video or not. This is my first time trying this with AirPods, so we'll see. Oh, you okay? Did you get a little stiff? Come on. So glad you don't wanna. Oh, he's rather just stand in the sun and take a nap. Samesies, girl, samesies. But we're just gonna do a little bit, and you can go right back to napping, I promise. Where'd she go? Huh? Are you looking at me? Let's get these reins twisted. Good girl. That was not my smoothest, but good job. I know, hello. Oh, you're a perfect girl, huh? You're so good. So I stand at the mounting block and everything. You're so good. As long as I get to snap into shine. Alright, princess. I lowered my stirrups a hole. Let me see if I can't keep my leg underneath me a little bit better. Because he's been all over the place lately. Yeah, let's go. Oh, here we go. Yeah, forward movement. Some-ish, kinda, sorta. Not so much, but a little. I know. I was looking over your shoulder. I want to make sure the boots was on. Well, make sure the boots was on. We're just gonna go about negative 10 miles an hour. That's alright. We finna do. Are we gonna come see what this is all about? That's where your hay bale was. Add to the manure pile. You've been there, done that, kid. You've seen it all. Like, probably, really, honestly, actually seen it all. It's kind of wobbly, huh? Like, yeah, I've got no real motivation. Oh, there's a pretty feather on the ground. I know, I'm sorry. Where are you going? Are you thinking you would like a stop now? Is that what that was? I just gonna bend myself to a stop. I feel like stopping. That's nice, but we're gonna keep walking. So I like to start my rides on a loose rein. So she's just on the buckle. I have my middle finger looped through it, holding onto my saddle pads. The reason why I'm holding onto the saddle pads is to ensure that my hand isn't moving anywhere, that it's not accidentally wandering up or over. I guess I could use a grab strap, but I don't have one of those, and this works just fine. I'm not like pulling on the pads, I'm just resting my hand there. We can keep walking. And I'm letting her just wander around wherever she wants to go. I'm keeping her inside of kind of a little area, not really having to do a whole lot because that's what we've been doing, is just working in this area, learning that this is where we stay. And for some reason, she really just wants to stay on this side right now. I would say she's like, that's kind of similar to being gate sour, but the gate would be over that way. So I'm not really sure what the interest is over here. Are we gonna go check out the hay bales? No? Oh, yes. Oh, basically, I want her to know that she can go wherever she wants when she's on a loose rein, as long as she is. These little circles are cracking me up. Because I'm pretty sure she wants to take a break. I think that's what she wants. We've been bending to a stop, and I think that she now thinks that we should stop and take a break every so often. And homegirl, that's true, but we just got on. I'm gonna try to get her to switch directions. So when I am doing this exercise on the buckle, I've done this at a walk and a trot. Whenever I want to steer her, I just reach down and open my rein. And then once we get headed in the right direction, where are you going? Once we get in the right direction, I go ahead and give her a release, because it shouldn't be about me micromanaging her and keeping her exactly here, exactly there. Just keeping her inside this area and going in the direction that I want to go in. So now we can stop. I hope you could see I didn't pull on the reins, didn't say, whoa, I didn't do anything, really. Just thought about stopping, and I maybe closed my knees a little. That was about it. You think stopping's pretty cool, don't ya? Don't ya? I don't know if you can see her nose. She looks like she's breathing hard. I'm watching her flank to see what her actual breathing rate is, because their nostrils can be deceiving. And now I can't see her nostrils. It's already slowed down some. So I think she gets anxious, like I've said before. I think she gets anxious, and I think that she almost holds her breath. Good job, kiddo. Nice flickies and chews. Yep, onward. Oh, there we go. Go to this way. Go to the left. I think that she holds her breath, or she gets kind of that panicked breathing. If you've ever had an anxiety attack or panic episode, you may know what I'm talking about. You just feel like you can't control your breathing. And I think she sometimes gets that way. And I say that because I noticed that she would look like she was winded. She would be breathing really hard and fast, but she wouldn't be that sweaty, and we wouldn't have done a whole lot of work considering how fit she is. She's lost a little bit of fitness now, but still not a ton. We're gonna switch directions? That's fine. Let's walk a little faster. Come on, you just walk with a purpose. There we go. I know. I think it's kind of crazy how much leg I'm using right now to get her to go forward, because she's just kind of not interested. She says, I'd rather not, but thank you. But yeah, the anxiety breathing thing is just, I don't even know if that's actually a thing in horses. I have no idea, but it seems to fit based on what I've seen with her. And hopefully as we work through the relaxation stuff that we've been working on and have nothing but good positive vibes, hopefully it'll start to dissipate and not happen as much. So I can imagine it's difficult to perform at your best. We're going to try and go for a T word. I'm like having to push her so much. Oh my lord. Come on, Ranita. You just so lazy. So tired. Yeah. I mean, shoot. Not that long ago, I couldn't use this much leg or I'd shoot off. So, an improvement. I'd like her to be a little bit more responsive to my leg. Nope, not everything means stop. Silly goose, but I am happy you are thinking more backwards instead of forwards. All the time. Backwards is good, but for this horse, she needed a little bit more of it. So no, we're not going to run that way. No, we're not going to go at the gate. And let's see about a downward transition. So honestly, I shouldn't have asked for my downward transition in that corner because it took us long enough and it happened by the barn. It's not really what I wanted. I wanted her to step over here, away from the barn. Let's see if I can get her to whoa. Good job. Good job. That was actually a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. Keep her going. But if you notice, when she gets into a trot, she's not trying to like race off, which is really good. Obviously, I can't ride her like on the buckle forever. She has to deal with has to learn how to not deal with, but learn how to, I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for. Work with me with the contact and not get racy and anxious. Oh, what is that? What is that? Oh, you tell that to go away. There is a bug on your nose. Yes, good girl. Come here. See? Yes, good girl. She needs to get to a point where she's not bracy and anxious with the contact. That way I can really actually ride her forward into the bridle, and then we can, you know, jump jumps and ride more dressage movements and just proper flat work. It's not really proper to just have her with her nose kind of on the ground, not using herself, but I'm not as worried about, oh, good girl. I'm not as worried about that right now because I want to go back and fix her mental state first, and make sure that we can do that dressage work and the jumps and all that, but she can be relaxed and enjoy it. Let's go for a walk. No, I could go too far that way. We are gonna walk a little. So some things that I need to be a little bit more aware of, when I'm asking her to stop, is that I don't want her to keep stopping in the middle of the arena. She already kind of wants to do that anyway, especially if there's a person out here. There's a person out here, whew, that is her own personal treat dispenser, and you cannot tell her otherwise. What I eventually may do is set up some poles or some cones. I don't like the poles because they're not so fun to run over. They make it a little bit harder to navigate around because they're so much longer, but I don't have cones, so it might be poles instead of cones. My heel is creeping up on my inside leg. And try to make kind of like a, I don't know, path or a, what do you call that? A track. So that way she needs to stay on the outside of the cones, to kind of keep this ducking in behavior at a minimum. We don't have a ton of space here, so that's why I'm not overly nitpicky on where she is. And there's no specific markers other than just kind of stay on this side of the barn in the trailer. Let's see. So she didn't really listen to me there. Didn't well off my energy like I had wanted. I don't know if she was just tuning me out or whatnot. She was pretty distracted when I worked with her yesterday. I don't know if it was a deer or something. There was something over that way that had her attention big time. So I don't know what that was. Good job, baby. Good job. Yes, good girl. Yes, my toes. I don't know if you can see, she's a little bit better. Sweetie, you're pulling a tendon in my arm because I got my reins. It's my own dang fault, but she's a little bit better to the right on the lateral flexions than she is to the left. Um, she's better than she was on the left for sure, but that seems to be like her duller side. I don't know if there's a physical component to it. Um, she feels about the same in her body, left to right. But I know she has stiffness in her neck and her pole, so it could just be that it's worse on the left. And the dentist noted that she had like one side of her mouth was longer than the other side, which is causing some tension in her TMJ. Now her ear's on me. I wonder if she just isn't as in tune with me since I'm talking to the pivot. He noted that one side of her mouth was longer than the other, which was causing some issues with the TMJ. And no, ma'am. It's very interesting how strongly she wants to go to the right. Um, that was better. Good job. Good job. And when he said on her right, he was facing her. So I don't know. I didn't ask because I forgot to. I don't know if he meant like her actual right or his right when he was head on facing her, which would actually be her left. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's on notes. He did leave a nice little detailed report. I know, sweetie. There's a lot of flies. It's a good girl. I already fly sprayed you twice. Twice. Good job. Good job. So I don't think it was cut off, but in my last video, I think I talked about how one of the things that I always try to keep in mind is horses learn what happens before what happens happens. And I always keep that in mind. And I always think about, where was I going with this? Oh my gosh. The end of the day, my brain just said nope. Oh, the other thing is that you have to let them make mistakes. You can't just, I mean, you can, but it doesn't work out well for the horse or for you. Micromanaging them, constantly telling them not to do something that they're already not doing. So maybe you're worried that your horse is going to spook at something like this big black tarp, and you're constantly flexing them away from it or putting them in a leg yield away from it or doing something basically saying, don't look at that, don't look at that, don't look at that, don't spook at that, don't spook at that, don't spook at that. Yeah. and you want to let them spook at it. That was nice. That wasn't what I wanted. Well, that wasn't specifically what I wanted, but it's not what I wanted. You gotta let them make mistakes so that they can learn. Like, I'm not gonna tell her to slow down. You're just gonna go for a little canter. And then maybe a trot if she wants. Hey, the only thing I'm worried about is staying in our lane. Staying in our lane. Good job. Good job. Where are we going? Are you switching directions? Who's a smart lady? That's actually the first time I've cantered her since I brought her home. So it's been 6 weeks. I think that went very well. And she's like, you can have some leaves. Easy lady. Uh-oh. Kimbo lost us. I hope he's not dead. If he's dead, I'm going to be very upset. Let's walk over this way. I know. I normally tell you not to go this way, but I'm just double checking to see if he's giving me warning. Nope. It says it's still going. Well, hopefully it really is still going. Oh, what? Did you want to just hang tight for a second? Let's go this way. He said, oh, okay. Okay. I only rode her a handful of times before I brought her home. I bought her at the very end of August, so most of our riding has been done here. And I didn't feel like I could ride her on a loose rein, though, when I first brought her home. I don't know. No, sweet cheeks. We are not going that way. I don't know if she had previously been able to be cantered around on a loose rein like that or not. But between her and I don't think that we could have done that a couple of weeks ago, so I'm really proud of that. I don't know. I don't know if it's evident that now she's a little worked up and she needs a moment to come back to herself. Now you get to stare at her butts, but it's okay. I don't know if you can see she's breathing really hard. Not really, really hard, not like she was just galloped or anything, but for a short little baby canter, it was a lot of breathing. I'm sorry, very itchy. She's an itchy girl. No, ma'am. You sneaky lady. Well, you're such a food monster. I'd say cookie monster, but it doesn't matter if it's cookies or grass or hay or leftover grain on a bucket. Big sigh, very good. See, I'm not picky. I quite like a lot of food. Like a lot, like volume wise. You might be able to see it now. Pivo zoomed in, how she's breathing. I think it's interesting. I tend to sigh and yawn a lot. And this is interesting as well. She hasn't itched her face the last several times I've rode her, but I noticed she did it every time when we would like canter and jump and stuff. Jump, I only jumped her the one time. But I noticed she would always itch her face a lot when she would have a more higher intensity ride. So So I wonder if that isn't a sign of stress with her as well, because she doesn't do it really. I'm trying to think. I don't think she's ever done it once I take the halter off. Um, I'm not sure. Like, I don't think it's due to sweat because she's not sweaty. We haven't hardly done anything. It's warm, but it's not that warm. Um, so I'm not super sure. So it's interesting. I have the whoa off the seat and the energy and the intent, but once she gets a little worked up, like cantering, um, or being like pushed a little along at the trot, then we tend to lose that, and she kind of gets into that worried state, even though she's doing her licking into it. And I want to be able to maintain that whoa off my seat and my legs, not my legs, uh, my seat and my energy. Ideally, I should just be able to kind of think whoa and relax and sit a little deeper, and she should come back. Um, More yawns from me. I'm nice and relaxed, kiddo. How about you? Although I can't lie, I'm thinking a little bit about dinner. I don't think you have the foresight ability to think about dinner, but if you did, you would think about dinner too. I'm gonna tell you. So we seem to be struggling with walking the line between being um, sensitized and desensitized are the words that come to mind. So um, basically, calm but responsive, sensitive but not overly anxious or worried. You know, I can get her nice and calm, like she was at the beginning of the ride, where I'm pushing and asking for every single trot stride, or I can get her a little bit more responsive off my leg, like she is right now. She really wants to go on the other side of the trailer. I'm not sure why. There's not really any space, and there's nothing over there. Um, or I can get her a little bit more responsive to my leg, moving forward a little bit, and then we tend to lose that nice relaxation that we had beforehand. Ooh. Ooh. There you go. And so there, I bent her to a stop. I realize we always stop away from the camera, but it is what it is. And she was still thinking about something over there. She wasn't really paying attention. She hadn't brought her thoughts back to herself or to me. Mm, that's a good girl. Why are you breathing so hard, huh? Huh? Are you big worried? Are you big worried? Um, so I held her in that lateral flexion for a second until her thoughts came back this way. She flicked her ear and she looked at me instead of looking elsewhere and having her ears elsewhere. And then I released and let her go to where we are now. Yeah. I wish I had a bigger space. I might take her to an arena, I hope this weekend, but we are supposed to do a lot of fence work this weekend, so I'm not sure if I'll have the energy. Um, but I'd like to take her to an arena and allow her to canter in a bigger space and really canter until she finds comfort and relaxation in the canter, kind of like she's done in the walk and the trot. She's figured out that she can just trot along and or walk along and um, not maintain that pace. What is the word? Nope. 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 Um, Not maintain that pace. Good girl. Good job. Sophia snorted over paddock. Yes, good girl. Um, oh my gosh, what is the word? Wow, I don't know. I'll have to come back to that. Um, there goes some of the grass you stole. Basically, get her to a point where she can maintain is going to be the word that we're going to go with. It's not what I want to use, but my brain is absolutely empty as far as words go. Where she can maintain that canter and maintain her comfort and relaxation in the canter and not get overly worried, not, you know, feel like she needs to zoom away or anything like that. I think she's still a little worried. We should go for walkies. We're going to go to the left still. We have yet to accomplish what we want to do to the left. Lisa, I like to go right. So yeah, the right's nice. Very interesting how she's gotten more and more um, persistent about asking to turn around where the trailer is. Which is interesting because Saphira is straight in front of us right now, so she's not that way. Um, it's odd that she wants to turn around there when it's really not all that far away from Saphira. You still have 2 boots on? Okay. I got it. You are in the sky. Real men have issues. So right now I don't care if her head goes down. I mean, makes for a pretty picture, and if she's relaxed when she's doing it, that's fantastic. But it's not something I'm asking her to do. The thing I'm asking her to do is not run me into my horse trailer. She's not really sure that she cares all that much about not doing that. Very nice, good job. Can we get all ooh, ooh, ooh? She's like, I'm thinking. She'll think about the woe as long as we get to walk towards Saphira and stop in the middle. And I don't have any leg on her right now. I just have her flex to the inside, waiting for her to quietly come to a stop. She's still thinking out, thinking out, thinking out, thinking out. There we go. I got an eye and an ear. It's very hard to tell if you're actually leaking and chewing if you're just nomming on that grass. Yes, it is. As you can see, this kind of work takes some time. I know, sweetness. Who's a good sweet pea? And honestly, my next move after this weekend is probably going to be addressing her, let me see. No, can I see? Thank you. Oh, I almost had it. Addressing her destination addiction to, excuse me, to the area between the horse trailer and the barn. There's not even a word for that. There's gate sour, there's buddy sour, there's barn sour. There's no between the horse trailer and barn sour. So I'm not sure what we're gonna call that. You're such a twitchy horse. I don't see any bugs. None. Or I'd get them off for you. This one is hurting my head. I'm ready for all these bugs today, kid. I'm gonna miss our nice weather, but I'm very anti-bug. Hello? How you doing down there? Hmm? See, working hard even though I'm hardly working. Yeah, that's okay. Her little fuzzy ears kill me. They're so cute. So cute. Good girl. Sorry, Princess, my toes were falling asleep. They do that sometimes. Nope. Good job. Yeah. Sometimes riders fidget a little. Me, I'm a fidgeter. I gotta adjust my toes and stuff. Do we go for walkies? Nope, we're still going to the left. Enough with the left already. Enough with the left already. I'm gonna bonk your head if you're not careful. She really is a silly girl. I don't know why, but this helmet is hurting my head. Oh, you want to do it at such a fast pace. Not into the wall. Alright, alright. We aren't quite ready to canter to the left yet. That's okay. No, actually, I didn't. Nope, I don't want you just to be obedient, kiddo. Hey, honey. It's alright. You're very worried now. It's okay. It's okay, baby. I did not mean to startle you. So while I wish I had listened to my intuition a little bit better, um, I wanted to see how the canter was both ways, and I shouldn't have. I should have waited. That's okay. Um, the reason why I should have waited is that she was not listening to me at the walk and the trot. She was not listening to my cues to come back. And so, again, always building off of what you already have. Obviously, it didn't work out well at the canter, most likely because we don't have it 110% down at the walk and the trot. And as we keep seeing over here in this corner, there is something about going to the left that is different for her than going to the right. So while she may be ready to canter on the right lane, she's not so ready to go to the left yet. Hi, gorgeous. It's all right. She got really worried. That's a go here. When I didn't pick up 2 reins to slow her down. I still wanted her to bend to a stop. And bending to a stop is not a 1 rein stop. It's not holding with one rein and yanking with the other. It was just opening to the inside and letting them slowly come back. I didn't yank her over on herself. If you pull them in too tight too fast, they can slip, they can fall. Obviously, that's no good for anybody. Definitely don't recommend doing that. Poor kiddo, I think she had quite a fright there. It's alright. Nothing's after you, my love. I promise. So now we might go back to what we do know how to do. So we might go back to the right and work on some walking and bending to a stop. We'll just keep working on other things before we revisit. I'm going to strike right now. So there's a piece right here. It hurts. We'll keep working on some other bits before we revisit that canter. We're doing some fencing stuff this weekend and maybe another footing project over here behind the barn. And hopefully once those are done, I should have all my round pen panels back. And maybe I can set up a round pen arena type deal and work with her off the line. Some groundwork is a little bit difficult with her because she's so used to lunging that she kind of has trouble switching that off and not going kind of internal. This poor girl. I've got to get a new element. It's official. What's up, gorgeous? I didn't mean to give you a fight, give you a spook. I did not mean. He's a good dog. Oh, yes, you are. You are. Big sigh. Good job. You want to move out of that physical space? That's okay. We're just going to go right back to a stop whenever you're ready. Oh, knees buckle. Thank you. And because I don't want to end on that negative note, I'm working. I know it doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but that's kind of the most difficult thing is timing and knowing when to sit chilly, is what some jumper rider calls it. Sitting there and doing nothing. So there, I thought she was going to walk forward. I went to bend her back to a stop, and she stopped. Um, Going back to the letting them make mistakes, I shouldn't have gone for the rein until she truly walked off. I would like her to stand, but if she wants to rearrange, it's always fine. Um, yeah. Yes, little lips, huh? Little lips, little lips. So I want to go back and do something that I know she knows how to do. Just walk quietly on a loose rein, going to the right. Um, Hopefully she can let go a little bit more of this tension, and she can actually do a transition, a downward transition. No need in asking her to go forward right now because she is still worked up, and she might be able to do that from my leg and not my leg. I keep saying leg. I don't mean leg. My seat and my energy. But it's quite interesting, if you've watched the whole video, to see her at the beginning where I could barely get her to move forward. I was using every leg with every trot stride, and how quickly that can switch to be or swing in the other direction to where she's, nearly bolting around after a few strides of canter, just from the mental anxiety getting her so worked up. And it's interesting that we didn't have that issue one direction, but we did the other. They're like little jigsaw puzzles. There's a little bit more of a release. That's good. That is good. Do some more release. Your hands nice and low. Yeah. You're gonna go for an itch. Same. My face is itchy too. Alright, let's go. So there, I didn't hardly do anything. I moved my legs a little, and she was ready to walk. Um, Earlier, like I said, I was like squeezing with every stride, reminding her we do need to go forward. Let's try. Ooh. Ooh. Good job. Currently, I'm not going to be picky about the fact that we are like 20 feet from Saphira and like 15 feet from the barn. Um, like I said, it's just really important for me, for her to end on, to me, for her, to end on a positive note. So going back and doing something that we both know we can do well, ending there. There's always a fine line, I think, between not pushing yourself, so kind of always staying in your comfort zone and not knowing when to try something new or different. So in this case today, trying the canter on the loose rein, and the fine line between that and knowing when to call it a day. I typically like to err on the side of caution and sooner rather than later, but it is easy to fall into a trap of doing very little that way. Nope, I'm not asking you to stop, just asking you not to go that way. And maybe, only riding for 20 minutes or something, you're calling it good enough and not challenging yourself and your horse. And that's not really what you want. Ooh. Ooh. Good job. And especially coming from riding a 5-year-old, 3 to 5-year-old. That's basically all I've ridden for the past 2 years was my off the track thoroughbred. Nope, not done. Let's walk. Just kind of just thinking literally anywhere but over here where we are. Just, I don't want to be forced to think about myself. See out there. She finally looked at me, but she still hasn't given me very good lateral flexion. But what I was saying about riding the 3 to 5-year-old thoroughbred, one is knowing when to pick your battles. I mean, there shouldn't be any actual battles between you and the horse, but knowing when to really insist on something. So just then I insisted that she focus back on either myself or herself, instead of worrying about everything else that's going on. Because the bending to the stop isn't just about stopping them or slowing them down. It's also about them bringing their thoughts back to themselves and back to you. And it doesn't really count if she's bent to a stop and stopped, but she's thinking about everything else. So I might try one more time to go in a big circle around and maybe stop in the middle, because I know she likes to stop in the middle. So now I'm going to add leg, rein, rein, because we're not supposed to be this far over, silly goose. Sun is fast disappearing. Good girl. Good job. Good man. I ordered longer reins for her, and they were supposed to come today, and I don't know if they did. So I think I'm going to call it a day there. It's been a little while. I don't really time my rides or usually worry about the time. Obviously, I haven't overworked or anything. But I don't think that continuing to work on that is going to get us anywhere. I think this is about as calm and relaxed as she can offer me right now, considering the big rush of anxiety that she had with that left sleeve canter. So I'm going to give her a few minutes, and then I'm going to hop down and put her away. And hopefully we can try again tomorrow. And that's all that matters. Yeah, live to fight another day. Thank you. Ooh, good girl. Ooh, ooh, I know, my knees are so stiff. They're better though with those longer strips. I think that worked. Maybe we'll see. I'll have to see on my video how the legs look. They feel stiff. That's how they feel. You can boop it? No, boop me. That's fine.